Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard podcast, another special episode of 2 Minute Drill. I'm Max. That's Omar. Down there is Earl. I don't even know if I point in the right direction, but today we're talking about the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that I sorely underpredicted in terms of their efficiency, in terms of how high they'd be up in the Western Conference this year. We're going to get into that. We got 2 minutes on the clock. Earl's going to go first, so lead us off with some hot takes about this spicy team led by Taylor Jenkins and that really short point guard who likes to dunk.
2 minutes start now.
Yeah, man. I mean, no surprise here. I know I'm a Lakers fan, and there seems to be a fake rivalry. There's no rivalry. That's just Grizzlies fans. But I do respect what the Grizzlies have done this year. I mean, it's no secret that they were struggling last year solely because John Morant got hurt. But it was a blessing in disguise. The same guys who are role players right now for this team and producing well, they were main pieces last year because the whole team got hurt. So what happens then? You have the guys who basically your team just gets deeper. Like all your starters come back, they're in the front lines, and then you draw back your old guys who were playing last year and they become your decent role players. Scottie Pippen Jr., Jay Huff, Santi Aldama, all those guys have been producing well. And then you go and draft top three rookie Jalen Wells. Like it's like the Grizzlies have hit on everything. And on top of that, this is all without Gigi Jackson, who had a really, really great season last year. And I was excited to see what he does next to Ja, which he'll be back later this year. But I mean, in a year where Ja's averaging 21, 8.5 assists, 4.4 rebounds, I think he's having one of those career years. We talk about his playmaking. He has some of the most electric highlights we've seen so far. And he's doing it all with while giving up dunking. So it is definitely interesting to see. They're sitting at 2 in the West so far. And yeah, I think it's just a combination of role players. This team just knows how to play together. Just even
Uh,
times when John Morant's gone down this year and Desmond Bane as well, they still seem to win games or at least stay close into them. So shout out to the Grizzlies. They're doing really good right now, and we just have to wait to see if they can keep it up.
with 20 seconds to spare, thank you so much. Max, you want to go next?
I would love to go next. I
All right,
predicted that the
2 minutes
Grizzlies, I
start
forget
now.
exactly where I predicted them, but I thought that they would be in the play-in this year. And it is safe to say that I made that prediction a little too early because right now they're the second seed in the Western Conference behind the OKC Thunder. And I'll be quite honest, I see them keeping the second seed for the foreseeable future. Obviously, it's tough to predict at the end of the
Mhm.
season, but right now they deserve to be where they're at. Do I think they're on the same level as the Thunder? No, because no team is in the NBA. But I think they're deservedly the second best team in the Western Conference. Obviously, we talked about Ja having a good season. Jaren Jackson Jr. has stepped up his scoring in a big way. I mean, he's playing 28 minutes a night, which is not a lot when you really think about it in the grand scheme. He thinks he's putting up 22 points a game, still getting 6 rebounds, still averaging 2 blocks a game doing Jaren Jackson Jr. things. The biggest thing that I think has contributed to the Grizzlies' success this season is they're getting production from guys you wouldn't necessarily expect. You would expect Desmond Bane to get the lion's share of the second of like secondary scoring compared to Ja, but he's only at 15 points a game. You have Jalen Wells, you have Santi Aldama, who's been phenomenal this year when his number's been called. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been like a really good surprise. He's up over 10 points a game. Jay Huff, random guy from the Lakers a couple years ago, almost 10 points a night. Jake LaRavia looks like a solid NBA player. You're getting production from those guys. And they have tradable assets further down. Like they have Luke Kennard, who hasn't had the greatest season, John Conchar, Vince Williams. Those are guys that other NBA teams could use that haven't even been contributing to the Grizzlies too much. So I see them having good pieces to make trades, and they're getting production from young guys. This is still one of the younger teams in the league, considering Ja is still young, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr. They're all either in their prime or about to enter their prime. So big shout out to them. Taylor Jenkins has really built a culture over there that I think he could be proud of. His prowess as a coach is showing, being able to develop these young under the radar guys like a Scottie Pippen Jr., like a Jalen Wells, like a Santi Aldama. They deserve to be where they're at. And quite frankly, they're proving me wrong right now. I did not expect this from the Grizzlies this year.
All right, thank you so much. My 2 minutes start now. And just to like you guys kind of hit it on the hammer here, but it's safe to say that my prediction has came true. I mean, I did predict them to be slightly lower, and in some ways, I still think that's possible. The West is a very, very crazy place where the NBA takes place, and I can't hate on it. But man, we were talking about before this podcast, we were talking about teams that their starting lineup and even some of their bench average more than 10 points. And I gotta say, Memphis is one of those teams. Jaren Jackson's leading the way with 21.9. John not far behind him with 21.7. And again, with passing better than Tyrese Halliburton. 8.5 assists a game. So really, Ja Morant has gone full conductor mode. And is it safe to compare him to Mike Conley? I don't want to do that. Mike Conley was great, and Ja is great in his own respect. But man, I see some similarities that I like. And Desmond Bain has been playing amazing role play ball. Zach Edey unfortunately been injured, but you can't really do much about that. Marcus Smart, I feel like I haven't seen a lot of him this year. It's felt weird, but I mean, it is what it is. I guess you fall back in the lineup, and then Scottie Pippen Jr. yet again. He's been killing it this year. Last year. He's killing it this year, man. Shout out to them. That's the end of my take. Open
I want to get to
discussion.
that Mike Conley comment. The only thing they have in common is that they're point guards and they played in the Grizzlies,
Yeah.
respectfully. But
Okay.
I see
fine.
what you mean. I get the connection, but I just feel like Mike Conley. Actually, I think they're really both great playmakers. I think Mike Conley came
Yeah.
in being a great playmaker.
And that I was talking
Like,
about in that respect, kind of,
Yeah.
because Mike Conley was a great conductor, and he really
Yeah.
led that team pretty far, at least as far as he could take them. So
Yeah. And like Ja Morant, I'll say this, bro. Ja Morant is a underrated passer, bro. Every time I see him getting an assist, bro, it's like something. I don't even want to use the word flashy, but it's just like stylish, I'll say. Like he has a really good playmaking style. Shout out to 2K. But yeah, that's the only thing I was gonna say. And the Tyrese shot was hilarious.
yeah, those courts really tripped me out last night. I gotta say, if y'all
The
if y'all
one
saw
thing
the
that
courts,
impresses me the most about Memphis is that they're doing this, and none of their guys are playing over 30 minutes a night. Literally none of
Yeah.
them. Not even Ja. They're managing to rest their starters and rest their superstars a good amount, which I think keeps them healthier for the end of the games in the short term. We'll probably see them be healthier in the long term as well, thinking about towards the end of the season. Like most teams cannot afford to play their best player 28 minutes a night, or and their second
Yeah.
best player. How much is
I
Jared
gotta
Jackson
say that's gotta be
averaging minutes?
because of
Yeah, they're all averaging 28 minutes.
yeah,
Most
that's
teams cannot
gotta be
afford to
because
not
of
play their best players 30 plus a night, but the Grizzlies get away with it because they have guys off the bench that can step up and contribute and play a good amount of minutes. So to
their
me,
whole
that says that they're
roster.
confident in those guys, and those guys have been reciprocating and showing that why they have that confidence in them, which is really impressive. Most teams can't do that.
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
seem to like really spread the load of minutes out
They
really well.
do,
I
which I
mean,
like. I
I
really
get
like
I
that.
get with Colin Castleton and Yuki Kamimura, you got 3 minutes a game, but it's something. It's something. So
Yeah.
I mean, I really like what this Grizzlies team is doing, and if they keep it up, they'll be amazing for the next 10 years. And that concludes our 2 minute timer. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode of the Beyond the Backboard podcast 2 minute drill. Later on this week, we'll be going in fully on our podcast. Make sure to check that out at the end of the week, maybe Saturday, maybe Friday. We'll see what happens. But again, thank you so much, everybody, and just please make sure to subscribe. We love every single one of you. We want to see your comments. And you know what? Another thing I wanted to bring up, we're going to start taking requests. Type in what you want in the comments, what you guys want to hear from us, what your opinions you want. Let us know. We will honor it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys, and peace.